It's finally here, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting. I feel like I've been waiting this for a really long time, even though Nintendo only announced it just a little while ago. The rumors have been out about this for extremely long time. Of course, we're going to have Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy all playable on the Switch. You can finally play these games handheld mode on the go, or you can play them docked at home. On the back it says, jump, slide, and soar through Mario's 3D platforming history. I must say, I'm really disappointed that this does not have Super Mario Galaxy 2. I think that's a big missed opportunity. I know it's 3D All-Stars and maybe 3 games for the 3D, but the original Super Mario All-Stars, back on the Super Nintendo, that one had 4 games in it. But then there's Super Mario All-Stars plus World, that special cartridge right there, that had 5 on it. The original 4 in the game for Super Nintendo and Mario World, Super Mario World. So I really don't know why Nintendo didn't have Galaxy 2. I wonder if they're going to release that separately. So on here it says Mario's 3D platforming debut with Super Mario 64, water spraying fun in the sun for Super Mario Sunshine, and topsy-turvy worlds of wonder for Super Mario Galaxy. Let me know which of these is your favorite. And by the way, people in Australia have let me know that the games never came sealed. So these games right here, almost dating back to the Nintendo 64, they're saying, a lot of the games don't come sealed from Nintendo, so you can't really be a sealed collector, I guess, for Nintendo over there. Now, I'm not expecting very much in this. I would have liked to see more, but there's no manual, which really is disappointing. Also, the cartridge. I'm sure maybe you've seen this or heard about this before, but because the E for everyone is so large on this cartridge, they put this design over to the right for the logo. That personally just drives me nuts. A few of my friends are like 3D graphic designers or 2D graphic designers, and they said like this is insane, but the artwork looks really nice on here. I like that entire, let me just maybe pull this out so you can see a little bit better. It's really colorful and everything. I just wish maybe they gave us some sort of a book or a manual. Maybe just something a little bit more, because look at what they did for Super Mario's 25th anniversary. Over there for that one, you got a larger red box, you got an art book, but it was the exact same release of Super Mario All-Stars with nothing new. So at least this is a new variation of 3D All-Stars. So I'm going to put it in my system, play for a little while, and then give you my thoughts. So let's get to that. Upon booting up the game, you'll be welcomed with a short featurette from all 3 games, culminating in you getting a star or a shine as Mario. I'm not sure if I love or hate that simplistic design. When you get to the menu screen, all 3 games are available to you, but also their respective soundtracks, which is a great inclusion from Nintendo. However, I'm not sure how feasible it is to use the Nintendo Switch as your portable music playing device because it is quite large, but it's nice to have that option. All 3 games also have a graphical upgrade. They're at least playing in 720p apparently on the go, and Sunshine and Galaxy are playing in 1080p while you're in docked mode. Graphical menus and text have been upgraded to HD as well. First up is Super Mario 64 from 1996. Before we get too far into it, it's good to mention that this is not the original North American release, although it is a Japanese release, which removes the glitches such as the backwards long jumps or BLJs that people were using to get up the stairs in the castle to fight Bowser early. The game does look gorgeous, however it's really strange that this is only in 4:3 and not widescreen, considering the other HD upgrades to the font and other settings throughout the game. I just don't know why they would have left that out, especially considering this game's been out now for over 24 years. I would have hoped for a little bit more there. The game actually controls great, whether you're using the Pro Controller or the Joy-Cons. I found it really natural and a lot of the buttons were mapped correctly. The other fault though with this game is with the original release and how the camera setting controls are a little bit wonky. You can only move the camera usually around roughly 25% turns, and then after you do that, sometimes the camera shifts to where it wants to be anyways. You can always change the camera to be in Mario mode or directly behind Mario, which helps out sometimes, but it really is showing how old this camera system is. Good news though, if this is your first time playing Super Mario 64, you're going to enjoy yourself and the game is going to look great. You'll just really wonder why it's not in widescreen. Second up is the tropical themed Super Mario Sunshine from the Nintendo GameCube in 2002. This game looks fantastic in widescreen, especially when you play it docked. A lot of the characters have slight upgrades and you can notice all the different textures that look a little bit better in the game. If you played the original, you will be a little bit frustrated by the inverted controls, particularly for the camera. I just couldn't quite get used to them, and for me being a fan of the series for so long, this was the hardest game on this 3D All-Stars for me to get used to. If it's your first time playing the game though, this is the definitive way of experiencing Super Mario Sunshine. I would have liked to see Nintendo go a little bit farther with their upgrades of this re-release, and at least include some sort of a checklist for things that are difficult to collect and find, like the blue coins, because some of them are only available in very specific episodes. I really wish Nintendo went a little bit farther, and maybe even released a little bit extra footage or content in this game, because it was rushed to production to sell more Nintendo GameCubes, and it really feels like the game is lacking some levels. Super Mario Sunshine also still has some remnants left over from the GameCube, particularly hitting the X button, I believe, to use Flood, and it is baffling that the Switch offers GameCube support. However, Super Mario 3D All-Stars is not fully compatible with the GameCube controller at this time. Last up is Super Mario Galaxy, one of my favorites from my childhood, and this one looks the best out of the three on the Nintendo Switch. The game doesn't even look that much older than Super Mario Odyssey, which is a testament to how good this game looked back in 2007. Nintendo did a really good job of mapping the controls from the nunchuck and the Wii Remote controller to the Joy-Cons. It does feel intuitive, and it works. You hold R or press R to recenter your star reticule while you're trying to collect different star bits. Now, I do have a little bit of a gripe if you're playing this game in handheld mode or on a Nintendo Switch Lite. You have to remove your hands from the console and use your finger to select certain things during the menu screen and to collect star bits. But the biggest positive of this game is that you can hit the Y button to do the spin with Mario. That's much better than shaking the Wii Remote, and that feels a lot more natural to me. It almost feels like the upgrade from New Super Mario Bros. Until you could eventually just use a button in order to twirl. It feels exactly that good, and now I feel like I'll almost be better at playing this game. But I must also mention that it's very, very disappointing that there's no Super Mario Galaxy 2 in Super Mario 3D All-Stars release. I think that's hopefully coming, but I don't know why Nintendo didn't include it. A sort of time restriction on this release. In conclusion, it's great to have Super Mario 3D All-Stars as part of the celebration for Mario's 35th anniversary. I wish Galaxy 2 was included. I wish there was inverted controls for the camera system in Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine, but these are the definitive ways of experiencing these games for the first time in 2020. I'm just really hoping for a patch from Nintendo so that they go all the way with their upgrades in terms of the graphics, the mapping of the buttons, and the controls. If I had to give this game a score out of 10, right now it's probably around a 7 to a 7.5 out of 10. Nintendo needed to go a little bit further to gain more points, and I really wish Super Mario Galaxy 2 was included. Maybe we'll get that at another time. Let me know what your thoughts are on the release of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, if you're picking up a copy or if you're going to pass on it, and what your thoughts are on the limit of this game only coming out and being released physically until March 31st, 2021. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to fill that like bucket, follow me on all the social media links in the description below the video, and remember, as always, go collect them all, keep smiling while gaming, and stay awesome, my friends.